If you're a Metroid fan, you definitely should get this game. It is so good. It is awesome. So Metroid Samus Returns is great. I love it, and I've been playing it a lot recently, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It really is, in my opinion, the 3DS's final hurrah. It's swan song. It's great. But I'll get to that in a little bit. First, I just want to point out that this isn't exactly a review because I've only played so much of the game. I've only gone down like 15-20% of it. So I can't really give a proper review. I don't get early review copies because I still have a small audience for now. So I'm just going to give you my impressions and hopefully do good enough of a job to help you decide if this game is for you, if you're on the fence about it. So right off the bat, I'm going to say that if you're a Metroid fan, you definitely should get this game. It is so good. It is awesome. I get the same feeling of Super Metroid and Metroid Prime and all other good things about Metroid all in one. It just feels like Metroid. Samus has really returned. Now, while this may technically be a remake, it doesn't feel like a remake in any way. The game looks different, it sounds different, it feels different, it plays different. The game plays really, really well. It's fluid, it's fast, Samus is agile, she has all these power-ups and attacks, and it's great. One of my favorite new abilities is the melee counter, and it changes a lot because you're watching all these different enemies, and every enemy has a different kind of attack pattern, and you have to learn it, adjust to it, and have quick timing to always be ready to melee counter. And when you get that off, not only does it look awesome and feel satisfying, but you can just plow through enemies and get power-ups and missiles and life, and it's just great. And honestly, that alone changes a lot about the overall Metroid combat. But there's more to it than that. Samus is getting a lot of power-ups this time, and you get a lot of them really quick, and in standard true Metroid style of gameplay, yes, there's a lot of backtracking, and the power-ups allow you to do all these different things in different situations. So you're going to come back to a place, and you're going to have a different power-up. It's going to allow you to do different things, like the spider ball will let you scale up, or the super jump will let you jump a lot higher, things like that. It works, and nothing about the backtracking feels tiresome or bothersome. It's not taxing in any way to me. It's just all immersive, and it still feels fresh. Because of the new power-ups, you can do so many different things. But it doesn't mean that the world isn't big. From what I've seen so far, it's really big, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot to see between the Chozo ruins and all these different creatures and things going on in the background. The background's in 3D. Well, the whole game is in 3D, but there's like this whole setting in the background you can see different things going on. Kind of like in Donkey Kong Country Returns. It looks really cool, and it's awesome. The Metroid Samus Returns is one of the best looking 3DS games. And a lot of people are even saying that the 3D effect works really well. Me personally, I haven't been able to really enjoy the 3D effect on most 3DS games. And for this game, I do have to say it looks really cool, but I still don't really have it on most of the time because I still kind of get that weird ghosting effect where I see like shadows and like reflections where there shouldn't be. And it's just kind of weird. It kind of bothers my eyes a little bit. But it looks cool to see things, at least sporadically. But regardless, with or without 3D, the game looks great. It also sounds great, too. It has all that iconic Metroid music. And there's even some different stuff in there as well that feel different and really add to all these weird, exotic worlds. It's just awesome. So, overall, I love the game. It's great. If I had any gripes at all, I can only think of, like, 1.5. So, the one is, I guess, the map. The map is fine. I can see it. It works. But, now this is a minor gripe, it really is, but I do feel like some of the icons are a little low res, or kind of hard to distinguish between one and the other in some cases. So, I can tell, but just, I could see some people maybe struggling a little bit with it. And, the map is not perfect, but it's fine. It's not bad, it's just, it could be a little better. But regardless, you can still find your way around with the map, it works. But something else that's interesting, though, is that when the Eon abilities really add to the game, yeah, they give you kind of like different abilities and powers, but the one that the scan pulse allows you to scan the environment, see breakable blocks and things like that, help you find more secrets. But also, it works in conjunction with the map, so it gives you like a full, like, expanded square of the map, and so you can see different things that are going on there. So between the map and the scan pulse ability, there really is a lot given to you to help you explore this really diverse 2D Metroid world. It works, and it works great. Now, the only other gripe I can really say, it's not a gripe, not for me, is the challenge. The game is pretty hard. I mean, I'm starting on the standard difficulty here. I'm not using any special amiibo or anything, and I've died a lot. Now, for me, that's great because I love challenging games, but I could see some people having a little bit of a problem with this, so I'm just putting it out there for some people. I guess this game's not really for the faint of heart. Even the exploration can be a little challenging. It's never, like, frustrating for me, but I can see how this game doesn't really hold your hand. This game is not for babies. This is a tough, awesome game. So, but just bear that in mind. Now, even though you do die a lot, I do feel like it's pretty forgiving. So, like, for example, if you die during a boss fight, you're going to appear right outside the room and you can jump right back in. When you do jump right back in, if there's a cutscene, and the cutscenes all look awesome, by the way, just press start and you can skip the cutscene. What's really weird is I've actually seen some reviews where they say you can't skip the cutscene. I don't know if, like, reviewers got, like, a less updated version of the game where they couldn't, or if they just missed it. Like, I think even Game Explain said you couldn't skip cutscenes, which makes no sense to me. You totally can, just for the record. So that's there. You can skip cutscenes if you need to. So it works. The game's pretty forgiving. So, you know, even though you die a lot, I think it's going to be fine. But just bear that in mind that it is challenging. So, you know, if you're a Metroid fan, like I said before, this game is great and you should totally already be playing this game. But if you haven't really gotten your feet wet with a Metroid game before, this is the game to jump in. It's really easy to jump into the game. It's fast, it's quick, and it's just fun. So if you're a fan of action-adventure games or sci-fi or alien kind of games, this is the game for you. It is awesome, and you should totally be playing Metroid Samus Returns. In my opinion, and I'm sure many others, Metroid Samus Returns is the true final hurrah, the swan song for the Nintendo 3DS, a system that's had a lot of great games, like the 3D Zelda games, like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but even, you know, Link Between Worlds and the 3D Land, and Resident Evil Revelations, and Metal Gear, and Fire Emblem, and Kid Icarus. There's just so many good games. Luigi's Mansion, I mean, the list goes on. The games have been great, and Metroid Samus Returns really fills it out, because we haven't really had a Metroid game to join all these other great franchises, and we finally do, and my god, this might even be my favorite 2D Metroid game ever. It's still early, it's hard to say for sure, but the game is great, and you should definitely play it. And, you know, the 3DS is on its last legs. Will there be a true successor to the 3DS with dual screen, like an actual dual screen system? I don't know. I think it may just be all Switch from now on, and the Switch is great, so I don't really mind. But you can't really say for sure. We don't know for sure. Nintendo is hard to predict, but it is probably going to be the Switch. We'll see. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What is in the store for the 3DS's future, if anything at all? And let me know what you guys think about Metroid Samus Returns, or ask me any questions you want to hear about this game. I'll tell you. This game's awesome, and you should really try to get your hands on it, because it is probably the final, best, amazing game that you can play on the Nintendo 3DS. Anyways, guys, play Metroid Samus Returns, and I'll see you all really soon. Bye.